I was kind of figuring that YouTube was going to give me a hard time. So I'm going live like 30 seconds early so I can get my camera set up perfectly. Hey, Agape Field, you are at a ladies' tea at your friend's church. That is awesome. You can totally catch the chat later on. I hope you enjoy your tea. That is awesome. I love ladies' tea. I used to do that regularly as well. I look a little crazy on camera today because we have so much going on. All right, it is 10 o'clock. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I try to go live here on YouTube every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. Central Time. Don't even know what time I'm supposed to go live here, apparently. But today's a little different. Today's going to be short and sweet. Well, okay, it's always short and sweet with me. So I'm just trying to get situated. You can see behind me, I have a massive amount of seeds. If you're wondering what this collection of seeds is, this is my school garden donation program seeds. So these are 2024 seeds that we moved over to a different spot on my in my seed shop, and these will be donated to different school gardens all over the country. So I'm super excited about that. I'm really sorry that you're seeing my hand and I'm all wonky and whatnot. So I'm just trying to get my camera so that it's like normal. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. I am Mary from marysheirloomseeds.com, and I've got a December update for you today. So if you are new to my live chat, welcome. If you are a regular, welcome back. I will be live this coming Thursday. I don't even have a date for you. I'll let you know later on. And I will have, this will be the official, next Thursday will be the official 2025 Garden Challenges update. Today is not that day. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. We have Two Doves Bees Garden. We've got Denise. Thank you very much for joining me. Jenny's here. Esther's Daughter's Garden. Oh, you're welcome for the seeds. So hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I always ask that you do that because it's helpful for me and for you so that you can see my videos. Today is the December updates. So we've got so much going on right now in December. It's awesome. We've got just amazing stuff going on. This morning I just emailed the winners to my December 24 giveaway. So they're going to get their seeds shipped out on Monday. And as I mentioned earlier, my official 2025 Garden Challenges video will be this coming Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So don't miss it. And if you can't watch this video, you can always watch the replay at a later time. So first and foremost, in the description section of this video, you will find a link to Mary's Heirloom Seeds. You will also find a link to the new arrivals that have been posted for 2025. So we are shipping out 2025 seeds now. Thank you very much. Hey, Asia Joe, thanks for joining me. I will have more recipes in 2025. I am working on adding more content. So 2024 for me has been a little rough in managing all of the things. We've got a farm. I have the seed shop to run. And if you don't know, I also manage my dad's goings on because he's got Parkinson's disease and he's gotten to the point where he needs help with literally everything. So I coordinate caregivers and healthcare for him and all that good stuff. So 2024 was a rough one, but I am hitting my stride. I am super excited to be way more prepared and way more organized now that I've had a couple of months to kind of figure out where I'm going with all of this good stuff. So I also have been posting more garden videos. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not just posting live videos anymore. I've actually, hey, Alicia Blaze, and congratulations, you're one of our winners. I got your email already, and I'm already gathering up your seeds that we're going to ship out on Monday. So 2025 is going to be awesome. I will have way more content available to you. Like I said, more recipes, more new arrivals, more garden videos, and a garden challenge. Now, here's the thing. I have had, over the last couple of years in the garden challenges, I have had a lot of great feedback. And Asia Joe says, you did a wonderful job. Had you not told us, I never would have known you were taking on so much. I generally don't share a lot of personal information because you're not here to hear about the random stuff that goes on. Although sometimes I get some bloopers in my videos, which is kind of fun. So you're here to learn about seeds. You're here to learn about gardens. I have been sharing a little bit of new stuff, like the cat that showed up. He's currently sitting in an office chair because it's cold and rainy outside, which is why I'm indoors instead of being outside today. So he's snug and warm and well fed here, and maybe we'll introduce him to the indoor cats, but for now he's safe and sound in here. So anyway, back to the challenges. I have had lots of feedback, awesome feedback, very little negative feedback, which is awesome. Hey, Christian, thank you very much. I'm live here on Saturday, and I'll be live again, back to my regularly scheduled programming on Thursday at 5 p.m. Hey, Jolie, that's cold. Now, I've listened. I have heard you. I have acknowledged that not everybody has a large space, and you know, maybe growing the largest tomato or the largest watermelon or the largest pumpkin wasn't for you because your garden doesn't, you don't have the space or you don't have the spots for it. And Jenny, that is cold in Florida. So the 2025 garden challenges, I'm going to make it easier on myself because I'm going to have one crop, and you get to choose which varieties that you grow. But before you go out and run out and purchase some of those seeds, excuse me, I will have a little more information for you. So the 2025 garden challenges, and keep in mind, I'm not going to share all the ins and outs. I'm not going to share the prizes and all that until next Thursday. So you definitely want to tune in next Thursday and let kind of figure out exactly what we're doing here, because I'm going to have all the rules, all the details, and lots of great stuff to share with you next Thursday. Now, sorry, have I teased you enough? The 2025 garden challenge will be grow the largest radish. Now, you may be thinking, radish, Mary, really? But I thought about doing the largest carrot because I have seen people do the largest carrot, but sometimes people struggle with carrots because even I had struggled in the past. Thank you very much, Christian. I know I do wear flannels when it's cold. It's chilly outside. I don't even know how cold it is, but I'm inside. Let's see. Are the heirloom tomatoes you emailed about determinate? No. If you aren't signed up for my email, by the way, in the description section of this video, you'll find a link to sign up for my emails. Matt's Wild Cherry is an indeterminate tomato. Hey, Edgar, thanks for joining me. I planted Matt's Wild Cherry seeds in early March. I transplanted in early May, and I have been harvesting from like late June through literally my mom's here visiting, and we harvested a bowl of them yesterday. So, I mean, it's cold outside, but we harvested a big bowl of them. It's the last of them yesterday. So they were the best, hands down, the best producer this year. So back to the challenges. The 2025 garden challenge for Mary's Heirloom Seeds this year is going to be radishes. The same rules are going to apply as they did for my 2024. The seeds have to be purchased from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Doesn't have to be purchased now. You could have purchased them 3 years ago, and you're planting them now in your garden for the 2025 garden challenges. But there's going to be multiple categories, and there's going to be multiple winners. I'm going to include, like, if you grew them in ground, if you grew them in raised beds, and if you grew them in containers. And I'm going to grow them all three ways. So I'm going to share a little bit of information and tips along the way. I'm also going to do something a little different this year. I mentioned in my live chat on Facebook yesterday that I'm going to have more winners. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about the final check-in. I'm talking about every month somebody's going to be a winner. Because I have a monthly check-in, and there's going to be winners for everybody that just checks in. So even if you plant your seeds and you don't harvest anything, or maybe That's kind of impossible sometimes with radish because at least you're going to get something. Maybe you grow a radish, but it's not the heaviest radish or the longest radish. Just for participating, you're going to be able to be entered to win, which is awesome because, I like to give away free seeds and I've got lots of seeds to share. So I definitely want to encourage everybody to join the challenge. So the official challenge starts January 1st and it will end in June of 2025. But again, I'm going to share all that information with you next Thursday. So there's going to be a post on my website. There will be an email sent out and there will be a video that you can join me live. You can share your feedback. You can do all the fun stuff. Christian says 46 in Houston, probably closer to 50. I want to participate. Can you plant radishes next to potatoes? It is best to plant radishes away from potatoes because potatoes take up a lot of space under the soil, and radishes can be stunted if they run into, say, a potato or rocks and things like that. Now, I will say this. I am going to do something way different than I normally do when I'm planting radishes. I'm actually going to have radishes in grow bags as well as just a regular container. I want to be able to show you that it is possible to do this in all sorts of different gardens because my 2025 challenge is geared for let's include everyone. I want everybody to have the opportunity to enter the challenges, grow the radish, and then maybe be more proficient in how you grow your radishes. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And in the description section, you'll find not just a link to Mary's Heirloom Seeds, but a link to my 2025 new arrivals. You're also going to find my comprehensive planting guide. And I think I say this every video. That comprehensive planting guide is great because it's got so much information about what to grow, when to grow in your area. So many people reach out to me and they go, hey, Mary, what can I grow right now? Okay, well, it's December. I don't know where you are. If you're in Alaska, you might be growing one thing. If you're in Michigan, it's snowing. If you're where Jolene is in Tennessee and it's freezing cold or maybe almost freezing cold or over freezing cold, I need to know where you are if I'm going to give you the best possible educated answer that will give you a thorough answer. Asia Joe says, I wouldn't have ever thought to try my hand at growing radishes. This is very cool to me. Very cool. Awesome. Now, I can't tell you how many people have said, I've never grown radishes, or I don't like radishes, or I never knew I liked radishes until I tried it doing this way. Even my mom, when she said she had so many radishes, here's what I love to do. And my mom did the same thing, which I thought was awesome. When she planted her radishes, she took a picture of where they were in that bed. Because sometimes your plant markers come out or they get blown away or they get faded. Sometimes if you're like my friend, her daughter likes to alphabetize her plant markers. And then you're like, that's not what I planted. And she's like, oh, because I alphabetized them. So sometimes it's just, oh, hey, Alan, thank you very much. And Asia Joe. So sometimes things happen and taking a picture of it is really helpful. I love that because I will go back if say I wrote it down, I write my stuff down. I don't use the computer generally to log all of my garden. Well, what if I wrote it down in a book and I'm like, okay, now I can't find my book. Sometimes you're like, it was here where it was safe and sound. And then now I forgot where I put it. So taking that picture, and all my pictures are backed up, I can scroll back and I can go, okay, now that's the day that I planted it. And that is exactly what I planted. So yes, Asia Joe, perfect example. Yes, I will be sharing all this information at Mostly Feral Gardeners. If you guys are on Facebook, check out my, I have a group for Mary's Heirloom Seeds. You know how some homestead or companies have their friends of group? I started a group called Mostly Feral Gardeners because sometimes I'm totally feral and sometimes I'm mostly feral. So Christian says when you roast it, it's just a crunchy, sweeter vegetable. Absolutely. So my mom was like, I've got all these radishes. What do I do? And I said, cook it, bake it, roast it. It is so delicious. And it's a lower carb option for potatoes. Now, I say lower carb. It's not a substitute for potatoes because it doesn't necessarily taste like potatoes. But if you make a stew and you're trying to make some changes, adding radishes instead of potatoes is a fantastic option. Jennifer says some people freeze radishes and put them in a crock pot instead of potatoes. Exactly. Absolutely. I don't think they taste like potatoes. It's just me, mostly because I know it's a radish, but it's a fantastic option. So when you're growing these radishes for your challenge, just like the cucumbers, you're not necessarily going to be eating them. Although I'm going to share a picture on my Facebook page after my live video, and I'm also going to share it in the community section of my YouTube channel, and you can see it. It is a massive, massive radish that I harvested yesterday. And the bottom of it was a little funky, and I'm like, that doesn't taste very good. And my mom said, well, she slices them very thin and puts them on her salad. So she sliced a bunch really thin and she tasted it and she goes, no, it's great. So I did the same thing. I chopped it up and tossed it in the with the garden salad. We literally walked around the garden and collected salad and greens and had a small side salad with our lunch yesterday. Yeah, it's December. We had this awesome weather here lately where it didn't freeze until December. Last year I lost 2 weeks, and this year I gained 2 weeks in the garden, which was nice. So there's a lot of ways that you can use radish. And even if you don't necessarily like radish, the one awesome thing is you can eat the greens. So you just chop the top off, or what I do is I just rip the top off. And you can chop them and put them in stew. You can put them in soup. You can dehydrate them, then grind it up, and it's just a green powder. So you can put it in smoothie, or you can use it in your stew if you don't like the stringy greens in your super stew. So it's what I call a double duty crop. Now, I don't like raw radish tops because they're a little spiky, but I definitely will cook them. You can freeze them and use them later. So there's so many ways you can use radish. I prefer beet greens raw compared to radish greens, but everybody has their own preference. Turnips are another option that are a double duty crop because you can eat the tops and you can eat the roots. So there's a lot of awesomeness that's going to happen in 2025. Every year I grow something that I am not sure that we're going to like, or grow something that's new at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Denise Porter says, I haven't been brave enough to cook them yet. Well, maybe today for our lunch, I will roast some of my radishes that I have out here. You can actually thin your radishes and eat the thinnings. I do a lot of radish microgreens because I have an excess of seeds. The old seeds that I don't sell anymore either get donated or they get sent to my sisters who they use them for cover crops, or they just use them to feed their chickens, the microgreens and things like that. And so I will literally just take radish, and we sell bulk radish seeds now. You can actually buy a 1 pound bag of daikon radish seeds. So if you really want to go crazy and have a lot of microgreens, the 1 pound bag is fantastic. And I will literally take a bag of radish and I will sprinkle it over the top of a raised bed that I'm not using, and I'll eat the greens. You can eat them when they're just teeny. You can eat them when they're small. So radish green microgreens are another option for you as well. So before you go out, let me tell you this right now. Before you go out and go through your seed stash, or before you go out and purchase some seeds, I highly recommend that you check out my Thursday video. And here's why. I have a new arrival. I'm not going to announce it until Thursday. It is supposed to be the largest radish growing. And when I say we're going to have multiple categories, it's not just going to be in-ground, raised bed, and containers. There's going to be more. And before I blow it, I'm really bad at keeping secrets. Like okay, so today's my husband Doc's birthday, right? And I gave him his birthday presents like 3 or 4 days ago because it arrived, and I was like, I can't wait. Do you want it now or do you want to wait? And he's like, oh, I'll take it now. So I'm not going to finish telling you all of the ins and outs of my 2025 garden challenges because I want to save something for Thursday. So if you've got any questions, you can always send an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com and I will answer. Sorry, I'm in a rolly chair and I'm rolling away from you. Asia Joe says, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Doc. He is watching. He is my awesome moderator. He makes sure that the weirdos don't come in and make rude and mean or nasty comments. That's always super important because I like to keep my videos family friendly. So we've got some awesome challenges, but what I also mentioned on Facebook Live yesterday is I also want to challenge you to grow something new this year. The Gill's Golden Pippin Acorn Squash was fantastic. It was a great keeper. I was able to store it on my countertop for 3 months, 2 months. I'm not sure it was 3 months, but 2 months. And then I stuffed it when my mom came here. So the first night we had stuffed acorn squash, and they were personal size squash. So the Gill's Golden Pippin, if you like acorn squash, if you like stuffed squash, it's a nice side dish for the smaller varieties versus like the ebony acorn or the table queen squash. And sometimes some people have never eaten an acorn squash. So delicious. And you can make it savory, you can make it sweet. So I've actually made acorn squash where I've chopped it in half, and one half I did butter, salt, and cayenne pepper. And then the next one I did butter and brown sugar. Some people use honey, or some people use a lower carb option like stevia or something to make it sweet. So it's amazing. Let's see. Esther's daughter says, I love acorn squash. Asia Joe says, perks of being a newbie gardener. Still very easy to find new things to grow. Well, awesome. I'm glad. Jennifer says, I literally never ate squash in my life, but I want to try it. It's so you're growing it. Oh, this is awesome. I am so glad we're having this conversation. Tromboncino squash was one of my more recent videos that was a content video versus a live video. Check that video out, Jennifer. You will see one of my favorite squash. Tromboncino is heat tolerant, pest tolerant, disease resistant, fantastic, fabulous, whatever you want to call it, whatever your word is. Jolene says you've never tried acorn squash, only summer squash. So it takes a little longer to grow. Because it takes a little longer to grow, sometimes they're more susceptible to like squash vine borers and things like that. Hey, Caitlin, thanks for joining me. And hey, Judy, thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, definitely hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And if you missed the beginning, you definitely want to catch the replay. Jennifer said seeds are my favorite thing. I don't even care if seeds are old or I don't know what they are. I just have fun growing. Absolutely. I grow old seeds all the time because I don't take 25 or 24 seeds off the rack. I generally use the old stuff in my own garden, and the seeds germinate fantastic. So if you read the reviews on my website, you'll see that there's a ton of awesome information about germination and how they were great. So Christian says, my mom grew the Italian baseball bat squash as well as Chinese squash that had fur on it. Very interesting. So definitely check out all the awesomeness. And so I did mention reviews just now, and I generally don't ask this, but if you grew something in 2024, 2023, 2022, and you enjoyed it, you had awesome germination, or maybe you just want to say, hey, we like Mary, she's got great customer service, or whatever. She's silly, she has funny live videos, she has bloopers in her videos, whatever you want to share. If you've got a positive review, I would love for you to share it. If you've got maybe something that was a question that you weren't sure about, send me an email. That's great as well. But the reason I ask is because when you write a review on my website that says, I loved this squash or I love this tomato because, it helps future customers go, oh, well, I want to grow that too. So I would love for you to share your feedback. And I know a lot of you have already done it. And if you share a picture, then people can actually see, hey, it isn't just Mary growing this. Somebody else grew it too, and they loved it as well. So, and I love seeing your feedback. So let's see. I'm still waiting for a book from you. Yes. Let's see. Judy says, I grew Tatoume squash this year. Very tasty. Oh, that's another fantastic one. So Nancy, I believe is your name. It says N.L. Leonard, and I hope I'm not butchering your last name. She's asked for a book. And I'm not in a position to write a book at this time. However, I was considering something that is something that I can produce myself and something that you can use and add to it as I add more information as well. But it's going to have to wait, because I did mention in the very beginning of the video that 2024 was a little rough with all the things going on at one time. It was like one of those times where you're at your computer and you've got like 15 tabs open and it starts to slow your computer down and you're pulling your hair out. But 2025 is going to be so much better because I got so much more organized. I've got some awesome people in here helping me out, which is also fantastic. So that is it for, oh, you're fine, Nancy. I know you're good. You're one of my regulars here too. So just finishing up. Send me an email if you've got a question. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. Yep, Asia Joe, if I do something like that, it's going in a binder. And that way you can print out more stuff that I offer. And the printables that I offer and the recipes that I offer. So that would be something that you might be able to do as well yourself. Check out the description section of this video. You'll find the information that I shared. Esther's daughter says you're excited. I am excited too. Can you tell? And then definitely check back this coming Thursday. I will be live on YouTube Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time with all of the details, with awesome information on upcoming new arrivals, specifically a radish that will possibly help you win the challenges. Christian, goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. And if it's a situation, if you're in an area where it's a little warmer, Florida maybe, go plant some seeds. Otherwise, maybe enjoy and rest up. Enjoy the peace that you get in the wintertime when you have a little bit of a calm from the garden. And I'm going to go out and celebrate with Doc and enjoy my weekend as well. Thank you for joining me, everybody, and happy planting.